There are databases you will never see, files that contain your name, your habits, your associations, systems that have already decided whether you are dangerous, and you were never asked, you were never told. This is not conspiracy. This is protocol. Governments across the world maintain watch lists that expand every year. Algorithms scan your behavior, your purchases, your travel, your online activity. Everything feeds the machine. You think you are invisible. You think privacy still exists. But someone somewhere is already building a profile of you. Not because you did something wrong, but because you might. Because prediction is the new policing. The criteria are classified. You don't know what triggers inclusion. A keyword in an email, a website you visited, a friend who was flagged. Association is guilt now. Proximity is evidence. The net is wide and silent. These systems were born from fear. After attacks, after failures of intelligence, governments promised they would never miss a signal again, so they started collecting everything, on everyone, just in case, just to be safe. You were told it was temporary. You were told it was only for terrorists. But the definition of threat expanded. Activists became extremists. Protesters became risks. Dissent became suspicion. The categories grew quietly. There are people whose names sit in databases who have committed no crime, who have broken no law. But an algorithm decided they fit a pattern. A score was calculated, a flag was raised, and their life changed without them knowing. You cannot request your file. You cannot see your score. You cannot challenge the data. Because the system is classified, because national security requires secrecy, because transparency would compromise effectiveness, or so they say. Imagine walking through an airport and being pulled aside, searched more thoroughly, questioned longer. You ask why. They cannot tell you. You demand to know what triggered this. They have no answer they can share. You are simply selected. Your loan application is denied. Your job offer is rescinded. Your visa is rejected. No explanation given, no appeal allowed. You suspect something is wrong, but you cannot prove it, because the mark against you is invisible. These systems operate in shadows. They are maintained by agencies with acronyms you barely recognize. Partnerships between governments and tech companies, data shared across borders, intelligence exchanged without oversight, a global web of surveillance. Machine learning decides who is dangerous, not judges, not juries. Algorithms trained on historical data that contains historical biases, patterns that reflect prejudice, correlations mistaken for causation, math that claims objectivity but encodes discrimination. You think this does not touch you. You think you are too ordinary, too compliant, too boring to be noticed, but that is exactly what everyone thinks, until the day they discover they were wrong, until the day the system reaches them. If you feel something shifting inside you right now, if you feel that cold recognition, stay with this. This matters. This is real. And if you want to keep seeing content that exposes what hides in plain sight, subscribe. Not for me, for yourself, for what you need to know. The system does not sleep. It processes continuously. Every transaction you make, every location you visit, every person you contact, metadata is collected. Patterns are analyzed. Risk scores are updated in real time. Your phone is a tracking device you carry willingly. Your car reports your movements. Your smart devices listen constantly. Your apps sell your behavior. All of this flows into databases. All of it can be accessed by those with authority. Terms of service you never read gave permission. Privacy policies you scrolled past contained the warnings. You clicked agree without understanding what you agreed to. The companies told you, buried in legal language, hidden in paragraphs nobody reads. Some people are flagged for their religion, others for their politics, some for their ethnicity, others for their associations. The reasons are opaque. The criteria shift. What is suspicious today was normal yesterday. What is acceptable now may be dangerous tomorrow. There are journalists on these lists, lawyers who defend unpopular clients, activists who organize protests, researchers who study sensitive topics, teachers who discuss controversial ideas, artists who create challenging work. Being marked does not require wrongdoing. You cannot escape by doing nothing. Inactivity itself can be suspicious. Lack of digital presence raises questions. Why no social media? What are you hiding? Absence of data is itself data. Silence can be interpreted as evasion. The system makes mistakes. False positives are inevitable. Innocent people are flagged constantly. But correcting errors is nearly impossible, because you are not informed of the error, because you cannot contest what you cannot see. The mark remains. Children are in these databases. Teenagers flagged for angry posts. Students reported by automated systems scanning school emails. Their futures shaped by algorithms before they understand what algorithms are, before they have lived enough to be judged. There are kill lists maintained by governments, names of people approved for assassination without trial, citizens and non-citizens. The criteria are classified. The evidence is secret. The decision is final and legal, because emergency powers were granted and never revoked. You are told this keeps you safe, that preventing attacks requires these tools, that privacy must be sacrificed for security, but you never see the prevented attacks. You never know if the trade was worth it. You only feel the surveillance tighten. Whistleblowers have tried to warn you. They leaked documents showing the scope of collection. They revealed programs with names like Prism and X-Keyscore. They exposed the infrastructure of mass surveillance, and they were prosecuted, exiled, silenced. The public was outraged briefly. There were hearings, promises of reform, assurances that abuses would end. Then attention shifted. Other crises emerged, and the programs continued, renamed perhaps, restructured superficially, but fundamentally unchanged. Your own government has these systems. Whatever country you live in, whatever your politics, whether democracy or autocracy, the technology is available. The justification is universal. The desire for control is human. No nation resists these tools once they exist. International cooperation means your data crosses borders. Intelligence sharing agreements mean what one government knows, others can access. Your information is in databases on continents you have never visited, analyzed by agencies in languages you do not speak. Private companies build these systems for governments, tech firms with friendly public images, companies that advertise privacy and encryption. They have contracts you never see. They develop tools for surveillance while marketing products about freedom. The contradiction is intentional. There are people whose job is to watch you. Not you specifically, perhaps, but people like you. Analysts who scroll through data, who look for anomalies, who flag patterns. They are ordinary people doing a job. They have quotas. They have performance reviews. They look for threats because that is what they are paid to find. Confirmation bias shapes their work. When you are looking for danger, you find it everywhere. An innocent comment becomes ominous. A coincidence becomes conspiracy. The human mind seeks patterns, and when your livelihood depends on finding threats, everything looks threatening. You will never meet these analysts, never know their names, never challenge their interpretations. They make judgments about you from behind screens, with incomplete information, under pressure to produce results, and their assessments enter your file permanently. The data does not disappear, even if you are cleared, even if the flag is removed. The history remains. Future algorithms can find it. Future analysts can see it. You were once suspected. That fact is recorded, and suspicion leaves a stain that never fully washes away. Some people try to minimize their digital footprint. They use encryption. They avoid social media. They pay cash when possible. But evasion itself is suspicious. Trying to hide marks you as someone who has something to hide. The system interprets privacy as guilt. You cannot win this game. Participation is suspicious. Non-participation is suspicious. Speaking out is risky. Staying silent is risky. The rules change without announcement. The boundaries shift without warning. You are always already potentially guilty of something not yet defined. There are experimental systems now that claim to predict crime before it happens. Predictive policing based on algorithms. Areas designated as high risk based on historical data. People flagged as future criminals based on correlations. Minority Report is becoming operational reality. These systems reinforce existing inequalities. They patrol communities already over-policed. They flag individuals already marginalized. The algorithm learns from biased data and amplifies bias, then claims objectivity because math cannot be racist. But math built by humans inherits human prejudice. You are generating data right now. By reading this, by the time you spend here, by whether you share it, by how you react, all of it can be collected, all of it can be analyzed, all of it contributes to your profile in systems you will never access. Your face is in databases, facial recognition systems trained on billions of images, photos scraped from social media, images captured by surveillance cameras. Your face mapped into mathematical coordinates, searchable across networks, matched against watch lists in seconds. You walk through cities filled with cameras, intersections, stores, transportation hubs. Each camera potentially connected to recognition systems, each sighting logged, each movement tracked. You are followed without followers, watched without watchers. The city itself surveils you. The technology improves constantly. Higher resolution, better algorithms, faster processing. What was impossible 5 years ago is routine now. What seems invasive today will be quaint tomorrow. The trajectory is clear. Total visibility is approaching. Total documentation of human life. Some people say they have nothing to hide. They welcome surveillance. They believe innocence protects them. But history shows otherwise. Laws change, governments change. What is legal today may be criminalized tomorrow, and all your data remains, waiting to be reinterpreted. You do not choose what becomes suspicious. Today it is certain searches, certain donations, certain associations. Tomorrow it could be anything. The books you read, the ideas you explore, the questions you ask. Curiosity itself can become evidence of dangerous thinking. There are countries where this has already happened, where social credit systems track behavior comprehensively, where citizens are scored on compliance, where low scores restrict travel, employment, opportunity, where surveillance is total and explicit, and the technology is exportable. Your country is watching those experiments, learning what works, considering implementation, perhaps not as overtly, perhaps disguised as something else. Public safety, efficiency, convenience. But the infrastructure is being built. The capability is being established. The precedents are being set. You feel it already, perhaps. That subtle shift in how you speak online, the hesitation before posting, the self-censorship, the awareness of audience beyond your intended readers. You are modifying behavior based on invisible watchers. The surveillance is working. This is the goal. Not catching every criminal, not preventing every attack, but creating a population that polices itself. That assumes it is always being watched. That internalizes the gaze and adjusts accordingly. Panopticon perfected through technology. You are becoming complicit in your own control. You surrender data for convenience. You accept tracking for discounts. You trade privacy for services. Each transaction seems small. Each concession feels reasonable. But cumulatively, you are building your own cage. Children growing up now will never know privacy. They are documented from birth, their entire lives archived, every mistake preserved, every awkward phase recorded. They will inherit a world where being watched is normal, where files on every citizen are expected, where this seems like how things have always been. You cannot protect them by keeping them offline. They will be penalized for absence, excluded from opportunities, marked as abnormal. Participation is mandatory now. The digital world is the world, and the digital world is surveilled completely. The systems communicate with each other. Government databases link to corporate databases. National systems interface with international systems. Intelligence networks share information continuously. What one algorithm knows, others can access. The web is interconnected and total. There is no authority overseeing this, no elected body with complete knowledge, no judge reviewing every flag, no transparent process for accountability. The systems operate with internal logic, checked only by those who built them, trusted because they are technical, accepted because they are complex. You are told not to worry, that only the guilty have reason for concern, that these tools protect democracy, but unchecked power always expands, surveillance always grows, control always tightens, and by the time most people notice, it is too late to object effectively. This is not future speculation. This is present reality. These systems exist now. They are running now. Your data is in them now. The only question is whether you are flagged, whether your score is high enough, whether your profile matches patterns designated as threats. You will probably never know. Most people flagged never discover it. They notice strange difficulties, unexplained delays, doors that close without reason, but they cannot connect it to invisible marks in invisible systems. They assume bad luck. They blame themselves. They never see the real cause. Some discover by accident, a leaked document, a bureaucratic error, a journalist's investigation, and they learn they have been on a list for years, that opportunities were denied because of silent judgments, that their life was shaped by assessments made in secret, and they realize how much was stolen from them. You cannot prepare for this. You cannot defend against what you cannot see. You cannot challenge what you are not informed of. You can only exist in a state of permanent uncertainty, never sure if you are marked, never confident in your status, always aware that you might be watched, might be flagged, might be next. Your name is somewhere. In some database, everyone's name is. The question is not whether you are in the system. The question is what category you occupy, what flags are attached, what score you carry, and how those invisible marks will shape your future without your knowledge or consent. They told you this was about terrorism, but it expanded to organized crime, then to protests, then to dissent, then to non-conformity. The mission creeps silently, the definitions stretch, and suddenly, ordinary people are caught in nets designed for enemies. You are living in a society that has normalized surveillance, accepted it as necessary, internalized it as inevitable. You check for cameras before speaking freely. You assume your messages are read. You behave as if you are always being recorded, because you are. This is the architecture of control. Not force, not violence, but visibility. The knowledge that you might be watched, that you could be recorded, that something you do now might be used against you later. It shapes behavior more effectively than any law. The system wants you to feel this, wants you uncertain, wants you compliant. Because people who believe they are watched police themselves. They stay within bounds, they avoid risk, they conform, and conformity is the goal. Obedience is the product, control is the outcome. You feel it now. That discomfort, that recognition, that question forming in your mind. Are you in the system? Are you flagged? Have you already done something that marked you? Is your name on a list you cannot see? Are you being watched right now? And the darker question underneath. If you are being watched, if you are already marked, what can you do? How do you defend yourself against invisible accusers? How do you prove innocence when you don't know the charges? How do you live freely when freedom itself is archived and analyzed? Does knowing this change how you will behave tomorrow? Does it make you more careful, more silent, more afraid? Tell me what you feel right now, because that feeling is the point. That is what the system wants. Are you afraid? Do you feel exposed? Do you wonder if your name is already inside? There are no easy answers, no simple solutions, no way to opt out completely. The infrastructure is too vast, the integration too deep, the normalization too complete. You are inside the system, whether you consent or not. But awareness itself is resistance. Knowing you are watched changes the dynamic. Refusing to internalize the gaze is defiance. Speaking about surveillance breaks its power. The system relies on silence, on acceptance, on your complicity. Every time you question, every time you demand transparency, every time you resist normalization, you weaken the structure. You create friction. You remind others that this is not natural, not inevitable, not acceptable. The watchers want you isolated. They want you to think you are alone in your concern, that everyone else has accepted this, that resistance is futile, but you are not alone. Millions feel what you feel, see what you see, fear what you fear. Collective awareness creates collective power. When enough people refuse to accept surveillance as normal, when enough people demand accountability, when enough people say no, systems change. History proves this. Every authoritarian structure eventually faces resistance. This will not be easy. The surveillance apparatus is entrenched, protected by law, defended by powerful interests, enabled by technology companies, accepted by fearful populations. Dismantling it requires sustained effort across years, across generations perhaps. But the alternative is permanent submission, total documentation, complete control. A future where privacy is historical curiosity, where freedom exists only as concept, not reality, where every human being lives under perpetual suspicion. You have a choice, not about whether you are surveilled. That choice was made for you, but about how you respond, whether you normalize it or resist it, whether you accept it or question it, whether you stay silent or speak out. Your children will inherit the world you create. If you accept total surveillance, they will know nothing else. If you resist, you give them possibility. Not guarantee, but possibility. And possibility is where change begins. The systems are not invincible. They are built by humans, operated by humans, maintained by humans. And humans can be persuaded, convinced, changed. Every analyst has conscience. Every programmer has ethics. Every official has limits. Whistleblowers exist because conscience overcomes fear sometimes. Leaks happen because people inside systems see injustice and act. Change is possible because humans are not machines. We have capacity for moral courage, but courage requires support. Whistleblowers sacrifice everything. They need to know they will not be abandoned, that their actions matter, that someone is paying attention, that the truth they reveal will be honored, not ignored. You honor them by staying informed, by refusing comfortable ignorance, by caring about surveillance even when it does not obviously affect you yet, by recognizing that rights are collective, not individual. That injustice anywhere threatens justice everywhere. The system counts on your exhaustion, your distraction, your sense of powerlessness. It wants you to give up before you start, to accept defeat as inevitable, to save your energy for personal concerns and ignore collective threats. But small acts accumulate. Using encryption matters, supporting privacy legislation matters, questioning surveillance cameras matters, teaching children about privacy matters. Every act of resistance, however small, contributes to larger transformation. You're not asked to be hero, not expected to sacrifice everything, just to remain aware, to care, to refuse normalization, to speak when others stay silent, to question when others accept, to remember when others forget. History will judge this moment. Future generations will ask what we did when surveillance became total, when privacy died, when control was perfected. They will want to know if anyone resisted, if anyone cared, if anyone tried. What will your answer be? That you did not know, but now you know that you were powerless, but power is collective, built through solidarity, that it did not affect you. But it affects everyone, including those you love. The choice is before you now, this moment, this awareness, this discomfort you feel. You can close this video and forget. Return to comfortable ignorance. Pretend you never learned what you now know. Many will choose this. Or you can carry this knowledge forward. Let it change how you think, how you act, how you participate in world being built around you. Let it make you questioner, not acceptor, resistor, not complier, witness, not bystander. The surveillance state wants your silence, your acceptance, your complicity. Every time you speak against it, you deny them that victory. Every time you question, you create space for others to question. Every time you resist, you model resistance. This is not paranoia. This is clarity. Seeing systems as they are, not as they claim to be. Recognizing control mechanisms before they become unbreakable. Defending freedom while defense is still possible. You cannot stop surveillance alone, but you are not alone. Across the world, people are waking to this reality. Organizing, resisting, building alternatives, creating tools for privacy, fighting for legislation, exposing abuses. You can join them, or you can do nothing, and watch as control tightens, as privacy disappears, as freedom becomes memory, as your children grow up in a world where surveillance is so complete they cannot imagine alternative, where this video would be incomprehensible because they have never known privacy. The future is not written, it is being written now, by choices made today, by actions taken or not taken, by voices raised or kept silent. You are part of this writing. whether you choose to be or not. So I ask you directly, now that you know, now that you see, now that you understand, what will you do? Will you forget by tomorrow? Will you change how you think about privacy? Will you take any action, however small? Will you talk about this with someone? Share this information? Question surveillance when you encounter it? Support organizations fighting for privacy? Use encryption? Demand transparency? Teach others? Do anything? Or will you close this video and return to comfortable numbness? Pretend this does not concern you. Hope it will not get worse. Trust that someone else will fix it. Wait until it affects you obviously before caring, because it will affect you. It already does, you just cannot see the effects yet. The doors that closed, the opportunities denied, the judgments made, the marks recorded. They are invisible now, but they are real, and they are permanent. Your name is in the system. The only question is what you will do about it, how you will live knowing you are watched, whether that knowledge will paralyze you or galvanize you, whether fear will control you or clarify you. Tell me in the comments, are you afraid? Do you feel exposed? Do you wonder if your name is already flagged? And more importantly, does knowing this change anything for you? Or does the machine continue unchanged, with one more person aware but silent, watched but complicit, free in name only?